you? So today we're gonna be doing a minimal makeup. Not too shabby. And I'm just gonna be showing you my acne and showing how I'm covering, what products I'm using and techniques I'm using and everything like that. Please click the little bell button. Is this a bell? Yeah, it is. Please click the bell button that is right next to the subscribe button when you have clicked subscribe. So yeah, click there and you'll get a notification every time I upload something. Without further ado, let's get into this. Let's get into covering this mess of a face. So my skin has been the worst of the worst, like for real. I don't know if you saw, I made like an Instagram stories about it. I don't know what's happening, but it's just, I hate it. But no time better than this to actually show you how I'm covering my acne at the moment. So, as always, I'm gonna start with my old faithful Flawless Beauty Primer by Pixi. If you want to wear a high coverage foundation for like the whole day, for it not to go all patchy and weird, it's very important that you moisturize and moisturize and moisturize. I'm gonna use my Then green concealer because it's just that bad. It even hurts, like my skin is so sore that it even hurts when I do this. So since we're color correcting, I'm gonna go ahead and color correct my under eye as well. And I'm using the Viva's concealer palette, Spectrum, using the salmon one. I feel like this is really good because compared to, for example, the NYX correcting palette, this is just that much creamier and solid. And I feel like the NYX palette, I can't use it because it just swishes around. Even the green concealer one, it just doesn't stick to anything. It's too creamy and too like more moisturizing than compact coverage. So remember the Real Techniques diamond sponge? Mine is now in pieces, and the reason that I have to do this is because it's honestly crumbling in my face and I see the crumbles on my face. So I'm trying to like take advantage of these soft parts before I get another sponge. Okay, now foundation, and this is probably one of the best foundations in terms of long wear, but it's also very drying because it's long lasting. This is the one for normal skin types. There is one for oily skin types. If you have very sensitive skin, please do a patch test before this foundation because it does have a lot of fragrance, and I do feel like a little bit of a sting around my nose, which is like my only super hypersensitive area because it's so damaged and dry and flaky and patchy. And so yeah, this foundation is very high coverage. So if you like, a lot of people don't have breakouts the way I do because mine are really like red stuff. So for most people, especially if they're not really fair, for most people, this foundation alone should be fine. The only bad thing I have to say about this foundation is that, well, it does oxidize a little, but that's fine. But it's that it does like make my pores so much more visible, which is very usual with these high coverage foundations. And I usually put like a silicone primer underneath, and with this one I can't because I feel like if it just slides on top of it, so it slides around and just doesn't set, and when it does set, it gets all crumbly and cakey, and it does not adhere to the skin, it just adheres to the silicone, and then the silicone slides right off. As a concealer on my pimples, I'm gonna use this little thing that has just arrived. This is from Medicube, which is a Korean beauty brand. It's really cute because it's kind of like a syringe. So you press it and it comes out. And it's very creamy, but at the same time very pigmented, which is great because it doesn't make the pimples as dry and patchy as, for example, my OCC concealer does. So I am gonna wait for the concealer to set in a little, just so I can get that maximum coverage. And I'm gonna go in with my under eye concealer from the Zoeva Concealer Spectrum as well. So I'm using this one. I do feel like I have to set it with a powder for it to not set into fine lines, but if I do set it with a powder, it's very creamy. You can even apply it with your hand, and it has a lot of coverage, and it just looks really seamless. I really love this. Can you see that coverage? I mean, of course, when you have like products with such high coverage, it's gonna, texture wise, it's gonna like heighten everything, but I mean, I do prefer to have everything covered and have a little more texture than have all the redness that I have at the moment going on, because it's just out of control. So I really wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see, but I wanted to show like in terms of texture how this is. I haven't set it with the powder yet, but this is what we're working with at the moment. We're doing a very minimal eye look today, so I'm gonna start with a Nabla cream eyeshadow in the shade Morning Glory, which is this beautiful nude. So I'm using this Sigma round precision brush that is synthetic to apply my cream. You can still use your finger, but this is just easier and quicker to do like a buffed out look. And today we're going to be using this Viva Blank Fusion palette, and I am going to do a tutorial further down the road with this yellow, but today I'm just going to use the neutrals. So I'm going to first go into Travel Inspired for a crease shade. If you have like a really light crease shade, it's just easier to do like a very natural non-pigmented look. So now I'm going to mix these two and swipe that across the lid. Very sloppily. You can intensify that crease a little with this shade that is called Conched. That's a pretty name for a shade. Okay. Okay. And just with no pigment, just the rest of what we picked up before, just go on your lower lash line. It just creates like a really nice shadow that is barely even there. I am now going to settle a little bit just to put a little bit of highlight in the corner. Let's prime the eyelashes. Well, we'll wait for that to set a little. I'm just gonna apply my powder, and it's of course the By Terry Hydro Powder. I'm just patting it in. I don't swirl it because I don't wanna take away from the coverage. I mean, you wanna insist in the parts that have more texture, especially with this powder because it's very like perfecting and silicone-like. And also in the areas you want to conceal the most because you'll just hold the power there for longer. Okay, so going with the mascara. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic, an old love of mine, as you probably know. Now I'm filling up my brows. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills, as you know. I really like this because it just gives really like heavy brows. I mean, my brows are already pretty good. I really like them, but this just gives that extra power without it being like fake or whatever. Now I'm gonna pop in my highlighter. So I'm using the Laura Geller Fake Gelato Swirl Illuminator in the shade Peach Glow, and this is like my fave. So now I'm gonna go ahead with blush, and this is Kendra by Nabla. I really like it because it's very like corally, but like a natural corally pinky color. And on top of that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of my Burberry Light Glow Blush in the shade Earthy Glow. This is kind of like a bronzer, but like because it's matte and it's very natural, it's very good for like fair skin types. So now all there's left to do is lips, and I'm gonna use the Collection Velvet Kiss Moisturizing Lip Cream, which I feel is a dupe for the Velvet Matte by NYX, and I really like the collection formulation, and it comes at like half the price, I think. I really love this color. This color is called Caramel. Every time I'm using this, people come asking what my lip shade is. So yeah. I'm just gonna blot it out on my hand because I want it to be like really just like tinted. Makeup Fixing Mist by Pixie. That's pretty much it. So if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. If you want to support this acne struggling moment, please leave me some heart comments down below because it's been hard, not gonna lie. Subscribe to the channel and click on the little bell button now because YouTube, like any other social media, is like downing on its creators. So if you want to get all the alerts for my new videos, please click the little bell after the subscribe button when you have subscribed. I will be back in a few days with a new video for you, and enjoy!